Welcome to our presentation From Red Slips to Conversations. This is a story of our journey of the implementation of our bullying prevention program. We are all from ACS International School, Cobham in the UK. My name is Robert Crowther. I'm the middle school principal. I've been here for 6 years. I've been in international education for 30 years. Originally from Australia, I've now worked in 8 different schools in 6 different countries.
My name is Darren Sheldrake. I'm the assistant principal responsible for pastoral care in the middle school. I've been in this role for 4 years and been at ACS for 6, and previously worked in the British system before I came over to international education.
Hi, I'm Shannon Walters. I'm the middle school counselor here in Cobham. This is my 11th year in this school. I've worked previously in other international school in Berlin, and I'm originally from California.
So the presentation today will really cover our timeline and rationale for the implementation of the program and the outcomes that it has had on our school culture. To start, we recognised that something needed to change in our school. We used to have a process, and this is where the title comes from, of handing out red slips. And we haven't used these in a very long time, but it really was addressing behaviours by saying, you're getting a red slip. And one of the things on here says behaviour including willful disobedience, which is a very, very much outdated term and often not the rationale for a particular behaviour. So we looked at the Alweas bullying questionnaire to gather some baseline data in April of 2017. And the new principal, that was me, gave the green light for the program, and we found the funding to do that. Shannon.
Yes, as Rob just mentioned, we decided to go with the Alweas bullying prevention program to implement here due to its research data-driven background. We do want to acknowledge right now the passing of Dan Alweas, the author of this program, who will be honored during this conference. And we want to thank him for his work that has really benefited so many and will continue to do so in the future. The reason that we chose the program, as I mentioned, is because it is a comprehensive program that includes all students, faculty, and staff in the day-to-day implementation. It has a clear definition that lays out the 3 components of the behavior that helps us to talk through the problematic behaviors children use and experience, and has allowed us to share common language to address the issues. The definition is purposeful negative behavior, usually repeated, and includes a power difference between the person doing the behavior and that on the receiving end. Also, the yearly anonymous survey delivers a wealth of very specific information that gives us clear data and the ability to implement different ways to have an impact on what the students are experiencing. The anonymity of the survey has given confidence to the students as well to be completely honest, knowing that it's not going to be tied back to them at all. The program itself includes practical and realistic tools that allow the adults to confidently step in to a situation, even if they're not sure what exactly is happening, but they can name the behavior, stop it, and then follow up later.
So in the 2017 and 18 school year, we had the approval and the budget to appoint an assistant principal responsible for pastoral care, which was turned out to be Darren. And then in April, Shannon and I went to the Alweas bullying prevention program training in South Carolina.
Once we returned to school after the training, we followed the plan and we established a coordinating committee that consisted of a lot of different staff members, as you can see, not just teachers, but librarian, nurses, because we realized that it's not just teachers that are interacting with the kids on a day-to-day basis. So that was really important.
So then towards the end of that academic year, Shannon then trained myself and all of the committee full 2-day off timetable to do that training, to then build upon and plan how the committee were then going to be prepared for us to launch in the following academic year, and to train all of the faculty and wider community and staff ready for the launch of the program that year.
So in the 2018-19 school year, the teacher training took place. That was a full day of training in our pre-planning week prior to students starting. And that was done by the coordinating committee. It wasn't just done by Darren and Shannon, but done by the whole committee. Between August and October, there was wider community training by Darren as the assistant principal and Shannon in her role as counsellor.
So in planning for that, we thought it was very, very important that it came from the committee, not from one person or come from the top down, and it came from within. And we were conscious that that training for a full day to start with faculty was active. It included role plays, and it focused on the two key components of the program, which is the class meetings on how to set up a class meeting from advisory sessions, and also how to perform an on-the-spot intervention when you see bullying behaviours, and then how that reporting process goes through to make sure that everything is picked up.
As you can see, it is including all of the adults on campus because they do play a pivotal role in addressing these behaviors with the kids. As I already mentioned, the teachers aren't the only ones who are involved with the kids on a day-to-day basis. So it was so important that we went and included everyone in the training so that they were confident in stepping in. And so the kids are very aware that they are all able to help them in different situations that are occurring.
I think it was also important to say that it actually enabled them to feel worthwhile. That a lot of the comments we had from the cleaners, facility, sports centre was, we didn't necessarily know we play a role in that. And then it really boosted their confidence to say that it's one community and everybody deals with it, not just teachers.
Once we did all the training and we're back, and we really implemented the class meetings that started in advisory. We lengthened the advisory time every Friday and adjusted the schedule to fit that because we saw it as extremely important to build the community aspect of the program within homerooms, but also to have those conversations to be able to bring up things in a trusted environment. We then had the Ulvaeus questionnaire that the students completed. And since we're in an international school in the UK, it was really important that we were able to use an electronic version so that we were getting the feedback from the questionnaire in a very timely way, and we didn't have to wait for a very long time. The questionnaire really gives a good breakdown by grade level and the sex of the students and what are they experiencing? Are they taking responsibility? Are they recognizing the behaviors? Who are they telling? Are they trusting the adults in school? As well as, are these things happening on campus? Are they online? And what their expectations are. So it's a lot of really good information.
So we're now ready to launch, and we felt it very important that the assembly that we planned ahead of that launch was of a celebratory nature, not we're all going to talk about bullying. And it was more about gaining momentum and getting the students backing. And some of the things that we did was that we had staff, teachers stand up and make their own testimonies about whether they had received bullying behaviours, but also in some situations had been the ones showing bullying behaviours when they were at school. And that was very powerful. We had our own song commission, and it was, as I say, it was just a very much celebratory approach, and to essentially break the taboo around the word of bullying and start bringing it into the common language within school. Now, this was probably the largest eye-opener for us. I think we were then had a culture of a parent community, being a private international fee-paying school, where our parents wanted punitive approaches and wanted zero tolerance. We will have punishment, these students need to be punished. And we were trying to change that culture to education and centered around having time to speak with students to change that behavior. So that parent presentation was the start of our sales pitch. but we understood, we came away from it feeling slightly disheartened, but now looking back on it, know that it just takes time to gain the trust of a program. And you can't wave a magic wand and change it overnight. But by being transparent and showing the results in that survey and being upfront and saying, this is where bullying exists in our school, helps have that gain that trust and build the confidence in the program.
So in August of 2019, we had a major review of our behaviour guidelines. We removed red slips completely. Instead of students getting a red slip, which was what they perceived as they had done something that meant they got a red slip, that was all they knew, we changed the dialogue in our school completely. It changed from the sanction to identifying and recognising and naming the behaviour and then what needed to occur in order to change that. There was a pastoral care presentation to parents and we had ongoing staff training. Years 2, 3 and 4, I'll go through quite quickly. We had a relaunch, we shared progress, we did student testimonies, but that was, of course, the first year of early closure through COVID. In the following school year, 2021, again, an interrupted year, and we felt that we were marking time. We didn't really move forward with our program due to the changed nature of schooling in the 2021 school year. This year has been a full relaunch. So class meetings are now more advisory discussions, focusing on how to be with others. Our kids are still learning that again. Avoiding what we refer to as bullying discussion fatigue, that it was broadened out, not just about bullying, but really about offering opinions on how we engage with others. The questionnaire will take place in November when we come back from our October break, and we're currently planning the relaunch assembly.
So this is steps for success, really, and our learnings. I think the training, as I said before, of team colleagues everywhere, not just within the school building, is a must. I think the behaviour guidelines need to be of a education-based with accountability, but also built on education. Manage the parents' expectations that suddenly bullying is not going to go from this percentage to this percentage and not exist in a school. We are working actively with the students to support those on the receiving end of bullying behaviours. And just to build the trust, as I said before, it takes time. And once parents see the benefits of it, the trust will be there. And address the behaviour rather than the outcome. So actually, what are you seeing rather than, as Rob has said, about the red slips? And one of the key parts from that is, as soon as we find out about a student on the receiving end of a bullying behaviour, we pick up the phone and we let the parent know. So before that student goes home at the end of the day, they're there ready to receive and to support their son or daughter when they walk through the door. And that has been a real twist in the way in which we've gone about our protocols.
So in terms of our school culture, we've talked about dialogue. It's changed the dialogue. Everybody needs to buy in. That's why you need the parents engaged with it. You need all of your faculty, and you need to relaunch every year, because with a mobile population, students who come in and teachers who come in and parents, they need to know what it is at the core of what we do. We maintain the culture, and there needs to be clarity and guidance for teachers so that there is consistency. Our mantra in the first year was changing the dialogue. The mantra in the second year was consistency of execution, and that continues to this day. We feel that trust has been built, but you can't let that fall by the wayside. You've got to continue to show that you can be trusted, and that what we're doing is for the best interests of all of the children in our school. I want to thank you for sharing some time with us today. We've taken you on really a 5-year journey in about 15 minutes. But if you'd like to get in touch, you can see our email addresses here and also the school's website. So please be in touch with us. We'd love to share our experiences. It has been a journey of discovery for us, and we feel like we're in a much better place than we were 5 years ago, but we certainly haven't finished that journey. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the conference.